Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to add some filters to your microphone in OBS so that you can sort of get rid of some of that background noise or some of the clicking on your keyboard while you are streaming and playing games. It's sort of tricky to get a hang of what all of the settings mean, so we'll go through that together and then hopefully you can get the hang of it. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing you are going to do is in your mic settings, you are going to go to advanced audio properties and you are going to make sure that you put it on monitor and output so that you can hear yourself while you are testing all of these settings. So you're going to want to open up the filters on your microphone, and this is where we're going to spend most of our time now, just going through all of the settings together. And just a disclaimer, I did watch two other people's YouTube videos for these types of settings, so I definitely recommend you just searching and trying to find the best tutorial for you if this is not the one. But yes, let's get into it. So we're going to start with a compressor filter, and what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that when you whisper you are still loud enough to your stream, and when you shout you are not too loud for your stream. I actually need to quickly just change my microphone. Where is this? Yeah. Okay, so you can hear there's quite a bit of background noise happening right now, right? You can hear all of my clicks, you can hear everything. So what you're going to want to do is adjust the settings until you feel confident in where it's at for how loud you speak or how soft you speak. So usually it's a good guide to start this at around 4 and then put your threshold all the way up. We're then going to put this down to 2, which you can just do that over there. So now we're going to change our output gain until we feel like the whispering is hitting this yellow bar at the bottom here. You never want it to hit the red bar because then that's a bit too much for stream. Green is still safe, but we want it to be within the yellow, as like around the middle or low enough so that it's at a decent enough peak. Also guys, I'm not a sound professional, so I don't really know if I'm using the right terminology all of the time, but hopefully you get the gist of this. Okay, so I'm going to start whispering now into the mic. So you're just going to turn this up until you see the whispering is going into the yellow, which we can see it is now. And this seems to be about a good place for all of the whispering we were going to do on stream, okay? So we're going to leave this at about 18.5. 18.5 seems to be our sweet spot, but now we need to switch this up so that when we are talking louder, it also pulls through to the yellow. So what we're going to do there to get it right is we're going to move the threshold down. So you're going to talk as loud as you think you would usually be talking on stream, including a little shout here and there. And then we're going to bring this threshold down so that the shouting lands in the yellow. Okay. So I'm going to keep talking very loud until it gets down to the yellow. And that seems to be a very good spot. And if we shout, you can see the shouting ends in the yellow as well. So I'm talking quite loud right now. And then if we shout, it also stays in the yellow. So that's kind of what you want to be seeing when you're whispering, and then also when you're talking really loud. So it kind of keeps your voice very balanced throughout stream. Okay, so now we're done with the compressor. Next we are going to do the expander. So once again we're going to take our ratio up to 4. I might need to adjust this video. Okay, there we go. We're going to take our ratio up to 4, and then once again we're going to take our threshold all the way to the left. Attack is going to be 2. Release is going to be 100. Just bring that down there, and then we won't touch our output gain. So I usually keep my keyboard very close to my mic, and what this is going to do is it's going to help us pick up less background noise, keyboard noises, things like that. So if I do that, you can hear the keyboard tapping, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do the keyboard tapping while we move the threshold all the way to the right until we stop hearing it. And you can keep talking while you're doing this, just to make sure that when you're talking and when you're clicking, it all doesn't pick up, okay? Okay, this seems to be a good point. Now let's see if it picks up my talking, so it's not picking up my talking. So because it doesn't pick up my talking, we're going to move it back down and find a sweet spot between the two. So now you can see the typing isn't so bad anymore, but my voice is also not choppy, so this seems to be a good medium for us. And just a reminder that this setting is not necessarily what's going to be the setting for you. Same with all of the filters. Every mic is different and every mic is going to have a different quality. So you're going to have to play around with this until you find a setting that works best for your microphone. and your surroundings as well. Alright, something you can do also to remove some of that, you can hear like that buzzing in the background. You can make use of a noise suppression if you do. This is not always necessary, but it does help. If you have no video, you might have some more options. I've got these. You could go with either of these options. This one sounds a bit choppy and you can sort of play around with how much suppression you want. This is also a really good one. There's more CPU usage, but it is very decent. So yeah, to recap, you really only need to set up your compressor, your expander, and your noise suppression. You can play around with the gain and the noise gate if you really want to, but remember some of these settings might conflict with one another. So that is going to be it for today. I hope you learned something. I hope it was a little bit easy and straightforward to follow along. Like I said, I'm not really a sound expert by any means. A lot of these things I found online, and I've just searched for YouTube tutorials that I really want to look into and implement on my stream, so you can do the same. But I hope this one was enjoyable, I hope it helps you, and I hope to see you soon.